Welcome to Pemberley Farm. Well, we're back out beside the old farmhouse at our raised bed garden area. And everything has grown a good bit since the last time you saw it. And we're going to do a little bit of a walkthrough to show you how things are growing. But I also wanted to tell you some exciting news. I'm going to move over this way a little bit. We're going to enclose this whole area in a 32 by 32 picket fence. Here is the edge where it's going to be this corner, and then if you see that white post back there, that will be the back of it. And then going around this way, you can see that white post right there. That'll be the back side of it. There's a small pear tree that will be included inside the fence over behind the 5-gallon buckets, but that's okay. I did that on purpose. I want it included. So anyway, but we're going to do a little walkthrough and talk about it, and then we're going to do some harvesting of things, and then set our dehydrator up and get things dehydrating. So let's talk just a little bit about all of this. All right, that's our peppermint. Again, it's grown a good bit since the last time you saw it. It doesn't get quite as tall, and it kind of is a low growing more than the spearmint is. This is the Egyptian walking onions. It's beginning to put on the little baby onions. Okay, and so what we do usually, if it doesn't, they're called walking onions because you see this one, because the top was so heavy it fell over and is on the ground, and so probably what will happen is those will take root and then there'll be new onions. Some of the onions in here, well, all the onions in here are a result of those onion tops. Also, there's the cucumbers that are going to grow up over the trellis, and it's amazing to come in. You don't have to crawl around on the ground to pick cucumbers. The lemon thyme is growing well and blooming a little bit. This is the spearmint. Isn't it beautiful? It is so pretty. Now, you know, I don't need to tell you, I guess, if you garden very much, that mint is very invasive, and if you don't want it to be everywhere in a garden bed, then you put it in a container. These are from Rural King, the mineral tubs for the cows, and when they empty out, then we make use of them. So, and what we do is, my husband drills holes about 3 or 4 inches up from the bottom, and then we've got rocks that are here on the place, and then we'll fill this with dirt. That's lemon balm. And then these 5-gallon buckets, this whole system was put here a number of years ago when we were doing a gardening class, and we wanted to show you all the different ways you could garden that you didn't have to have, you know, an acre of land or anything. Now you'll say, well, Gail, your lettuce is going to seed. Well, we intended that. I did not plant this lettuce except 3 or 4 years ago. Every year it reseeds into these buckets, and we pick the lettuce and just keep on going. So again, I'm not going to do that. And then this is some cilantro that I thought had died, and it was in a little pot, and so we dug it. It started coming back out, so we've put it in this pot. This pot only had like 1 thing of lettuce coming up in it, so we decided to put the cilantro in there. But yes, all this lettuce that we've picked off of several times came from reseeding itself. Okay, and then this one, you can see the little hairs, not the little leaves, but the little hairs are the bunching onions. That's what's in there. Now, one of the reasons to put a fence around this thing is right here. Well, we were going to do it anyway, but this morning we came out here, and this beautiful thing, this is catmint, and it was big and bushy just like the spearmint was and like the lemon balm, and now it's all, parts of it are broken, and it's all laying down because something's been up in it. I don't know. There's dogs that come over here during the night all the time, and we know that because we have cameras everywhere, and so the dog comes up in it, and I don't know if a dog got up in here or what, but anyway, it is irritating. And yarrow, And these beautiful strawberry plants are in the green stalk. We've picked all the ripe ones, and there's some beginning to get ripe again. It's an amazing, these plants are happy in here. You can tell they're very happy. This is our celery that we're going also. It's getting a little too big. We should have already harvested it. But it's so pretty, I let it stay as long as I can because it's just so pretty growing. And so we're going to harvest it and freeze it. I planted in the shade of this a few radishes. So anyway, on here and on the other end. And then the Swiss chard, it needs to be, some of the leaves that are kind of droopy need to be cut back. Now what we're going to harvest today though, and probably we'll harvest some of the celery today, but this is oregano. And we are going to cut it way back because if it gets too leggy, it will just be ugly, and it already is beginning to be that way. See, it's kind of fell over on itself. So we're going to cut it way back and dehydrate it. And the garlic chives is happy. It really likes it here. Now this is the parsley, and it's its second year and it's going to seed. That's what it's supposed to do. I'm letting it go to seed because I have had parsley reseed itself, and so I'm letting it do that. And I just got one more little plant over there of parsley to replace this one. Alright, so let's go over here. Sage. This is sage. Don't like sage to eat, but I like watching it grow. So there it is. Alright, and this insane thing is one lavender plant. And I have, in all the years I've tried to grow lavender, never been successful until this. And I guess this plant has been here two years at least, maybe 3. I can't remember for sure. But it is incredible. It is just incredible. And then the rest of this bed is echinacea, and there was only one echinacea plant in this bed, and it was that one. However, all of these echinacea plants are volunteers from the reseeding, the main echinacea plant reseeding itself. And there's still babies coming up. So what we're going to do eventually is we will dig up most of these. This bed needs rework some. You see that it has settled. You can tell it has settled a lot and compacted some, and so it needs some help, and so we're going to give it some help. All right, so anyway, that's what we're doing today. We're going to harvest. Oh, I have to show you Miss Abby's petunia. That's her petunia. She and Amelia talked to it like it's a person. So she wanted it planted there. So anyway, that's what we're doing. We're going to go get everything we need and harvest that oregano and put it in the dehydrator, and we'll be back when we do that. Okay, so now we're going to start cutting this back. You see, I'll just start from, you see how big this is. I let it get way out of hand. But, you know, life happens in spite of all you can do. But we're just going to cut it way back, Mama, and then it'll come back out and be beautiful again. But I may not even get, there's so much of it, I may not can even get it all in the dehydrator today. So I may only cut part of it, so that to make sure that we have enough room in the dehydrator. Now you can also take it and do like this, you know, put a twine or something around it and hang it upside down and let it dry. Plus we have a hanging, you've seen our hanging dehydrator before, and if you haven't, we may get it out and put some of them in there and do both, except I'm kind of in a hurry for this to dry, and the Excalibur will do a faster job. And so that's what we're going to do for now, is just get enough to fill up the Excalibur, and we'll take you in the house and show you that. And Amelia's my helper. She calls herself the good big helper, and she is sometimes. Sometimes she gets a little carried away, but most of the time. Oh, okay. But she loves to help. She and her sister both are farm girls at heart, which makes this grandma very happy. So anyway, And right on the ends of some of these, they're beginning to be some blooms, and I don't want that to happen. There you go, Amelia.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love you.
All right, so I'm not going to make you watch me cut the whole thing. We'll come again when we get in the house and start putting it in the dehydrator. Okay, so we're in the house now, and we've cleaned this up, and we've got all of our, this is a 9 tray Excalibur. We'll put a link down below for one if you're interested. Going through our Amazon link, disclaimer, we may get a few pennies back if you go through our link. However, it will cost you no more if you go through our link than if you were doing it just on your own. Okay, so I'm not going to take all these little bitty leaves off of here. I'm going to cut some of these long ones. I'm going to cut, but once it's dry, then I'll just kind of strip the leaves, okay? But it'll be much easier to handle, much less issues to do it this way. And now, I might not get quite as much on here doing it this way as I would if I cut leaves. However, in the end, it's easier for me. This is just the way I like to do it. Your mileage may vary. I mean, if you want to do different, then you are welcome to. But this is just the way I do it. And so this is quite a lot. Now, I can't remember for sure. I'd have to look it up how long it takes this to dry. It shouldn't take it too very long, and that's why we're using the Excalibur instead of the hanging one. I will show you. We will also link the hanging dehydrator. And like I say, there's a reason I want this done quickly. And so we're using the Excalibur. It'll be done probably in 12 hours or less. But anyway, but we will also, like I say, include a link to the one that you hang. We dry a lot of things with the hanging dehydrator. I have 2 of them. And so they're really, it's convenient if you don't want to mess with getting the electrical one out. Or, you know, if you're somebody that's off grid and you want to use, you can't use or don't want to use, if you had solar or something, a lot of electrical power, those hanging ones are great. They're just great either way, because like I say, we use them, and you know, and we have power. But this day is different, and so this is what we're doing, is getting all of this. I don't want to pile them up too much because I want them to dry faster. I keep saying that, don't I? I want them to dry faster. So, and the really long ones just cut because I don't want them hanging off the edge. All right, so I'm going to continue this. There's no sense in you watching me cut and do every single one. We may put it on fast speed or something to get through it. And when we get ready to put them in the dehydrator, we'll come back. All right, so we're putting them in. I've already put in 4 trays, and we're putting in some more because they stand up. So, and because if I'm using all 9, well, actually I'm only using 8 trays. I may go back out there and cut a little more for the 9th tray. But anyway, so I'm having to hold them when they go in so that they won't all be pushed out the end. So that's what we're doing. And we're going to turn this on now. On herbs, remember, on herbs, you don't want to turn them way up high. This is let's see, herbs is 95 degrees. That's the lowest it'll go on this Excalibur. And so that's what we're going to turn it on when we turn it on. And so, because you don't want to cook them, you just want to dry them. And so you have to be careful. You need to go, baby. All right, you don't need to see me put the last 2 in here and go back out and pick one more tray full. So we'll end it here, but I thank you so much for coming along and viewing our raised bed area again, seeing how it's grown, and finding out the exciting thing that we're going to have white picket fence all around it. When that's done, we'll show you that too. We're so excited about that. We're trying to make a cottage garden feel and have flowers and herbs and a few veggies all along, and that's our goal here at the old farmhouse, is to just show you what you can do you know, at your house. And so we're excited about that. Please, if you have not subscribed to our channel, do so. And like our videos and share them. We would like to grow our channel, and there was over a year that we did not even put up a video, and that's due to circumstances beyond our control. But anyway, so we're back now, and we try to have one every week. Every once in a while we skip one, but we do try to have one every Saturday morning. It goes up at 10 o'clock, so be on the lookout for that. And so anyway, just come along for the ride on our journey towards sustainability and toward growing our own culinary herbs as well as medicinal herbs, our own vegetables in our garden, our own meat with our animals, and all of that and everything that entails in a homesteading life. Thank you so much again for watching. God bless you from Pemberley Farm.